everything in grams instead of going back and forth. If you have too much, you can just dump it back out. Or you can like adjust the amount of water you put in. See, this doesn't happen at home, but because I'm nervous. And then I put in 45 grams of sugar. Again, this is the exact recipe that like you're all using right now. Which is also a good guideline for you. If you like the taste as is, then you can make the same way at home. By the way, 45 grams of sugar, so I'm doing 185 grams.
Question?
Yes?
It says, depending on humidity levels, I live in Colorado, which is an extremely dry climate. What suggestions do you have regarding altering the recipe?
So honestly, 45 grams of sugar is pretty, sorry. Oh, we just talked about this last time.
So sorry.
Wow. So, Colorado, yeah, if it's dry, but the 45, like, it's pretty dry in California too. I mean, winter maybe not as much, but 45 grams of sugar is a pretty good amount. So earlier, I know some people were saying how it's stuck on. It's stuck on really well, and you guys don't have sealant on, right?
No.
Yeah, so.
I live in Arizona and I use 45 grams for 100 powder, so it works pretty good.
And then I just dumped the oil in also before the Mendy, so this is 1 ounce of oil. This is the Bonnie Blend essential oil that I sell. It's a proprietary blend, but you can use any 30 mLs of any good essential oil that's high quality. If you're not sure which ones are okay or not, it does say on page 66 in the book, under section 4, there's a list. So you can use any of those, or you can combine them to find whatever blends you like personally. The Bonnie Blend is just what I like the smell of the most, and then all my products are basically a tribute to women in my life. So Bonnie's my mom's name, and the Bonnie Blend is named after my mom. Nita Blend is named after Nita. And yeah, other stuff is named after other people in my life that are important to me. And then just going in with 100 grams of the Nita Blend henna powder. That's also a proprietary blend of the Rajasthani and Jamila. And I just realized I didn't pack scissors. I need a bar.
I got some, I'll grab them, hold on. Just a second.
We have them in our package.
Whoever gives it. Thank you. Do you also believe that it causes fights?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
I don't.
I never, Nita was the one who taught me that.
Any sharp objects.
Any sharp objects.
Or salt in the head. It's like
Oh,
the
you have to
old
put it
way.
on
You
the
fight on the table and
Yeah.
put it and put it
So
down.
like directly hands.
Yes.
I didn't know. Okay, and then I'm just dumping in the Mendy powder. By the way, so the Colorado question was a good question about dry climate. Conversely, if you live in a very humid environment, you're gonna wanna put less sugar, or it might be too, like it might not dry on the skin, it might be like, syrupy.
So in summer,
Yeah.
we should use less sugar.
In summer, if it's humid where you
Yeah.
live, then
East Coast.
yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets humid in the Michigan summers too, which is where I'm from. And I I do like 30 or 35 grams of sugar for that
In
paste.
summer, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then just adding in some water. So again, the consistency that we're using, by the way, is it like a little thick for people, or do people like the consistency? It's a little loose?
No,
We
no,
like
we
it.
like it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so some of us like it thinner, I like it thinner too for my personal use, but from previous spring flings, this is the consistency that most people seem to like. So for that, I added 80 grams of water. And then starting tomorrow, I'm gonna have some thinner paste for like the rest of us.
Is this for bridal? I think it's better with the thin
Yeah.
one. It
And for me
flows-
too, with this
Yeah.
consistency, my hand starts hurting
Yeah,
after
same.
like 3 hours of
Yeah,
not
on the
bridal.
Monday, yeah.
Okay, this part, I'm not sure how good it's gonna,
You can just show it on.
cause I, okay. So I literally, I'm just putting the hand blender in there and starting it, it's gonna be loud, sorry. And that. This is also a brand new blender for me, so just getting the hang of it. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Is that butter?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can see it's pretty like nice and creamy. Anyone have any questions about that?
Yeah, what are you looking for? Like, what consistency are you looking for?
So there's not like a lot of clumps in it that I can see.
I mean,
We
it
are
looks like
gonna-
cake batter.
Yeah, like brownie batter, I guess, more. But
Okay.
yeah, the fact that it's just dropping like that, when you strain it, and I basically put it from this container to the nylon, I do want it to kind of ribbon.
Okay.
And I know this one is gonna be like a thicker ribbon, but my paste would be, like it ribbons, but then it kind of comes together because I like it thinner, right? These ribbons will kind of stay separated, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does everyone know what I'm talking about?
So that was 800 grams of water?
80, yeah. And it does say.
800, you'd be swimming in it.
Yeah. It does, my rough recipe is there on page 66. And I say rough recipe because like I said, you'll wanna adjust like the sugar and the water to like your own preferences and your own climate. But you can start with that baseline and then like experiment with it based on where you live.
So do you make it the like cone ready consistency before the dye release?
Yeah, I don't wait for dye
You don't
release.
make, does that make a difference?
I don't find that it makes a difference.
Stain wise?
No.
80 grams, right?
Like most suppliers are mixing their henna and coning it up and then shipping it while the dye release is
Okay.
happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Because
it'll,
that's why it's like also fresher by the time the cones get to it. Yeah. What else?
Does it not get a bit thinner after dye release?
I don't ship cones to myself. So So I don't know. If I freeze them, yes, it does get thinner, right? Like when I'm do that for myself. But like I said, I like the thinner consistency, so when I freeze the paste that I'm shipping out, it's perfect for me by the time I thaw it to use it.
So we could mix it, strain it, put it in a carrot bag.
Yeah.
Throw it in the freezer,
Yeah.
and then when I wanna use it, I just gotta take it out for the 24-hour dye release to happen?
Yeah. I usually have some emergency carrot bags like that in my freezer for like,
Is it better to do it that way versus have the dye release and then freeze it? Like, will it last longer if we freeze it before dye release?
I have not done that experiment.
But I do that, where I like mix it, like I let it sit for 24 hours. Then I usually put it in different sized containers. If I have one bride, then I have a container that will like, it'll be sufficient for a bride. If I have 2 brides on that day, then I put it in a larger container and I freeze the containers. And then one day before, I take it out for more dye release to happen before I take it for my appointment.
So you mean you make the cone on the day off?
I make them as I go.
So you blend it, so you do this, make the cone and then freeze it?
No, I mix it in containers.
Oh, okay, so that.
So then, it's thicker, so I take it out, I again thin it out to how I want it,
Yeah.
and and then I strain it
And
and
then
put
make
in the
cones.
carrot
Got it.
bags and,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
And she fills the cones as she goes. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm
It's
gonna
happened and
show
then
you guys
it
how
happens
to
more once I take it out.
strain it.
So once you freeze this one without dye release, right? It's not gonna be dye release once it's freeze. Once
It would
it's on the,
do the dye release probably after you thaw it.
so it's gonna be straight
Yeah, it lasts for 6 months in the freezer. I never have it that long in the freezer,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. I think it lasts longer, honestly, but I wouldn't sell it after that. And because I forgot to get an extra container. That's an extra container for straining, thank you. For straining the mehndi, you do need a carrot bag or pastry bag. Stick my hand in there, stick it in another tall, wide container. And I just have the sides going over the sides of the container. And then for the straining, we need a nylon. Make sure it doesn't have a reinforced toe because that's gonna make it really, really hard to strain it. And then basically what I'm doing is just kind of stretching it out and pulling the sides up. Guess I should have done that here. Should I do that again? I'm just like pulling the sides of the pantyhose out. And sticking that on the container. Pulling down the side. Just realized I have mehndi on the camera, so we're taking that off. And then just gonna pour the mehndi into here. No questions about this stuff?
Just how do you avoid creating a mess in your kitchen?
So I think the KitchenAid is a lot less messy. Because the bowl is a lot taller and so it's not really flying everywhere. And yeah. You can do it in the kitchen sink, that way the mess is like contained in the sink too. So yeah, this ribboning is really thick. It's really hard to do this with the camera really close to my container.
Nice.
Is that like two?
It's great. That works.
Yeah.
Ingenuity. Let's see. I have a sort of related question.
Yeah.
Sometimes on Instagram, so you see henna, like one time I saw a post where the henna was like really green, or like different colors, and I just wonder about that, like when it looks almost, the paste looks red.
So different types of henna, and different seasons even that the henna was grown in can have slightly different variations in color. But it should be a green to brown. Some of them could be redder. If it looks like artificially green
yeah.
or red, then I would wonder if there's like chemicals in it. So I would just make sure it's like a reputable supplier that doesn't sell weird things, like suspect things.
Just buy from here, it'd be fine.
There are a lot of other good suppliers too that definitely don't sell chemicals, but yeah, if it's artificially red, I would probably steer clear of that.
I've never seen it red.
I've just seen it on Instagram sometimes, some posts, and it's the paste. It's not the stain. I just was
If it's
curious.
a bright red paste, then it's definitely not. Those are chemicals.
Mhm.
Okay, I can see there's like a little bit of unmixed henna here, but it'll get strained out, so don't worry about that too much. Does everyone know the benefits of straining the henna, right? Or some of us are newer, so I just want to know how much to explain. I don't want to over-explain.
Just gets rid of like any sand or twigs or.
Yeah, any
Contaminants.
extra things in there that don't belong, basically.
These little claws.
Sometimes clumps too that didn't get mixed properly. So just pulling the entire pantyhose out. And then just kind of like to pull this aside. And then you pull up the plastic bag. I'm really not good with like mirroring stuff, and like this is just tripping me out. So try to squeeze as much air out as possible, and then I kind of hold it with my index finger and thumb, twist it once, and then basically we're just gonna pull the rest of the pantyhose out. I have a really good firm grip here so that we can properly strain it. Otherwise, if you don't have that firm grip, you're gonna end up taking too much henna out with the nylon. And it helps if you kind of wrap this around your wrist as you go. That's it, it's done.
Wow.
I wanted to keep going because again, I usually do bigger batches. And then
Does it ever break the pantyhose?
if the pantyhose breaks, it is messy. Yeah, basically, I think if you don't squeeze the air out enough, it can happen where it'll like pop, you know, like a bag that bursts. If that happens, unfortunately, you're gonna have to redo the whole thing. So in that case, I would like cut this tip and put it all in another setup, the same exact setup, right? But you cut the bottom off, you'd have to redo it. I've had to like double strain through 2 nylons that way, it's really hard. But another tip, if that happens to you, you know those rubber gloves for cleaning? Those have like extra grip on them. So if you really, really end up in that kind of situation, you can use the gloves to help you.
Do you recommend a certain brand of pantyhose?
I just use no nonsense knee highs.
Okay, thank you.
And you can get, I think, Amazon, there
Yeah,
are like,
yeah.
and I know of people who even order from like Temu.
I wouldn't order anything off Temu personally, but
Just saying, I know.
I used to want some Dollar Tree.
yeah, but they're not good. Not good things. That's it. That's your carrot bag of henna ready to cone up.
Nice.
Yay!
Questions about this?
So you would stick that whole bag in the freezer after 24 hours? Or directly into the freezer?
So so I've done that before where I have let it die release and stuck it in the freezer. Like if I'm going on a trip the day after tomorrow, I would stick this in the freezer now. I mean, tomorrow I would stick it in the freezer after die release. And then when I come back and have to go do henna, I would take it out. And then it's ready for me to use after it thaws.
Would you put it in the freezer in that giant cone?
Yeah. Yeah. Freeze is fine.
Can you explain what dye release is?
Yeah, die release is how people check for the readiness of the henna paste. Sorry, in the past I used to actually have like a separate bowl that had the dye released paste and you can like dig through. But you've seen those Instagram videos, I'm sure, right? No, you haven't. Okay. I'll find some videos and show them to you. But it's like when you have the paste and it's been sitting there and you dig a spatula through the top and the color on the bottom is like lighter green and it's different and the rest of what's left on top is like darker. That's usually how people indicate dye release.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like it's just like a sensory satisfaction thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the real, because again, that's not happening here, right?
So you have to wait for that to happen before you freeze it?
You don't.
Oh.
I freeze most of my henna like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you have to let it happen after you take it out.
Correct.
So it has to happen at some point.
Right.
So when you freeze the henna like that, you let the dye release happen inside the carrot bag?
Yeah.
Oh. And then do you just, can you, because like when it's in a bowl you can mix and like see, but is there a way to see when it's in the carrot bag?
You can still just cone it up, you know, you can just make one cone and test it. Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, like I've just been selling this recipe for so long, I just trust the process and I don't test.
Yeah.
I know a lot of henna artists still test their henna and worry about the stain, but I believe in this.
Is there
Consistently good.
So for those of us who are like newer to making our own paste, is there a way that you used to test when you were beginning to make
For the stain?
Yeah, like I know people do on their finger.
Yeah.
Somebody also
It's like
told
a
me
5-minute test.
a trick of like putting
Oh,
cling
paper
wrap
towel.
and then paper towel and then another cling wrap on top and checking the towel.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've shown all of this in previous classes. Now that you're bringing this up, but yeah, I don't do any of that. But it works. Yeah, if your paste is ready to use, it will it will like stain the paper towel that your bag was sitting on. It will also stain your countertops. So beware. Ask me how I know.
Is there like a typical time range of when the dye release happens, or you just have to check it?
It depends on the henna powder itself. So for the Rajasthani henna, the dark green one, it's about 12 hours. And for the Nita blend too, it takes about 12 hours because Nita blend does have primarily Rajasthani henna in it. And then the Jamila henna can take up to 24 hours. I think. Do I have that in here?
Jamila takes longer.
Yeah, it takes like 24 hours for dye release. If it's colder, it could take longer too. The temperature matters for how long it takes to dye release too. So the warmer it is, the faster your dye release is gonna happen. And the one way I kind of hack it if I need something to be ready faster is you can use warm water instead of room temperature water. But you do need to be careful with that, and I wouldn't play with it too much in the beginning. Maybe once you have like a good recipe for your paste, you can maybe mess with the temperature if you want. The reason I say don't mess with it too much is if it's too hot, you could kill the henna paste completely. Like it could just cook the whole thing and not be effective, not give you a good stain at all. So yeah, just you can use warm water or warm lemon juice, but not too warm, not too hot basically. Like you should be able to comfortably touch it.
So if you wanna experiment with the tea, you make the tea and let it cool down before you put it in the powder?
Yes, that is, yeah, my very first henna recipe was like that with tea, because that's how my mom taught me. I don't know where she learned, but yeah, we used to do the whole boiling tea leaves and coffee for good measure too. Now that I'm thinking back on it, that was probably a terrible way to make mehndi since that's a lot of unnecessary caffeine. That people definitely, I think, get like absorbed through their skin. So, yeah, maybe don't. I mean, that was 19 years ago, so yeah.
And then you're wondering why your bride can't sit still.
Good point.
And is there a difference in essential oils that are used for pregnant women versus non? Like, is there?
I know famously lavender oil is like the safe one to use. That's what's been floating around on the internet for a long time
that's why I
in the
asked.
henna community. Yeah. I would say to be safest, you could just do no essential oils. I tell my clients to ask their doctors to see what they recommend or you know what they allow.
Yeah.
I know when I actually got my bridal shower mehndi done, I had my normal paste. Like Nita did it, she used her normal paste.
Yeah. But without essential oils, would it stain as well?
It won't stain as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most doctors will give you the go ahead for it without.
Yeah, like I've never had anybody have any problems, but it's sometimes I just want to know. Like I use the lavender oil for that, but then. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people also don't necessarily disclose that they're pregnant, and we're just using our normal paste on there.
Right.
But it's always up to you and like your comfort level and your client's comfort level.
Right.
And then I would say they're doctors.
It depends on their pregnancy too. I have a lot of people who have like high risk pregnancy, so their doctor specifically says to stay away. So it just depends on the mom too.
With the essential oils with pregnancy. What is the
Honestly, I think so much.
Because everybody says, oh, use lavender for pregnant women, but I don't actually